the governor of the Bank of Canada cut the trend-setting bank rate by 25 basis points to 3%, saying we're in a good place. But Tiff Macklem added that a protracted tariff war with the U.S. will produce uncertainty and could badly hurt Canada's economy. CTV senior political correspondent Michael Couture now on the messaging from the chief banker. Mike?
Well, Sandy, the good news about a sixth consecutive interest rate cut was overshadowed somewhat by the looming threat of U.S. tariffs.
In the case of a protracted, significant trade conflict, it would badly hurt economic activity in Canada. Economic activity would be lower.
How much lower remains unclear. However, the Bank of Canada has gamed out one scenario that sees a global trade war, where the U.S. applies 25% tariffs on all countries and everyone reciprocates. In that case, the Canadian economy would take a massive hit.
If you thought growth was going to be 2%, if you take 2.5% off 2, you've got a negative number. So yes, people would call that a recession.
The governor of the Bank of Canada says it's tough to predict what U.S. President Donald Trump will decide on tariffs. However, Tiff Macklem believes the Canadian economy is in a good position given inflation is in the so-called sweet spot.
It's below the 2% target now, even though some of the core measures are still trending a little bit above the target. Given that the unemployment rate has gone up, the economy, it's growing, it's moving forward, but not at a strong pace.
Macklem hasn't ruled out further rate cuts, but he has to consider possible tariffs and whatever stimulus package the government may put forth to help Canadians affected by a trade war. Sources tell CTV News the relief could reach pandemic levels, but economists warn against repeating COVID-era mistakes.
Obviously led to a very significant increase in the deficit, and which we're still dealing with to some extent, but it also contributed in a very powerful way to the inflation that we've seen. And the fact that the Bank of Canada raised interest rates as much as they did.
The governor of the central bank says monetary policy can't offset the effects of higher tariffs. But Macklem does have the tools that can help the economy adjust to whatever comes from the U.S. Sandy?
Okay, Mike, thanks.